Hey there. Thanks for stopping by. My name is Jerry and I'm the founder of Bronson Creative. So I started this YouTube about 10 years ago with kind of a goal to just show my work and the trailers for my feature films, short films, experimental films, things like that. And over the course of those 10 years, made it to 203 followers. So if you're watching this and you've been around for a while, thank you so much for doing that. In anticipation of the 10-year mark of the YouTube and my career and 5 years of teaching full-time, as you'll see, there really hasn't been a lot on here over the past 5 years. And so that's because I've been teaching full-time. And so I kind of wanted to update everybody on what is going on, what the future of this channel is, and how you can support. So let's get started. So now that I've kind of transitioned to teaching full-time, I'm also still making films and writing and things like that, but for the most part I'm teaching full-time. So I teach high schoolers and adults how to make films. And so with the interest of that over the past 5 years, I've decided to transition this channel into that and be more educational. And so over the course of the next year, as I make that transition, you'll start to see more educational things, how to break down films, how to make films, how to direct films, how to edit them, all those kind of things. So tutorials and all of that kind of stuff will be popping up over the next over the next couple of weeks. So if you're already watching this, you might have seen the scene breakdowns, the director's commentary that I've been doing for my films, and so you can go watch those and see how different sequences were put together, things like that. And but one of the things that's also really exciting is now that if you followed anything on Substack, where I've been talking about the future of kind of the industry and all those things, distribution, all that kind of stuff, then you'll see that my films are no longer in distribution with their distributors, and so I've decided to put them on physical media. So here they are. So I put these together, and so these are actually all for sale on bronsonCreative.us. And so, but one of my goals this past year, I've been working on these since, well, over the summer, last summer. So I put all this stuff together. But one of the goals that I had moving forward was to get films on physical media. Both of my features, well, two of the three features, The Horror and Little Hand. So these two right here had kind of practical distribution deals. They were on, all the streaming sites, all that kind of stuff. The Horror premiered at Dances with Films at the Chinese Theater on Hollywood Boulevard, and Little Hand premiered at Rain Dance in London. And so, but after they got the distribution deals, really nothing happened from that point forward. And so I realized after they got done that I wanted to do kind of what I wanted to do from the beginning, which was put them on physical media. And so as a collector of film and cinema and just the history of it, I realized over the course of the 5 years it was there, it just slowly disappeared off all of the streaming sites. And it was because it either didn't make enough money for them, contract deals, blah, 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 blah. So now they're on physical media. You can buy a copy, and they're going to be there forever, so people can pass them along. I don't need the internet to watch the movie, which is great. And so, but in doing that, I learned a lot. And so one of the things that I learned was making a DVD is not as easy as it was when I was in college. And so I had to use a couple different programs to get all the infrastructure together and to be able to get it rocking. But now that it's all done, it's done. So all three of the films are there. Seize the Carp. This one really hasn't been seen per se, and that's because it got made during the pandemic. Well, we started before the pandemic, it got finished during the pandemic, and so you'll see some scene breakdowns and things like that, but this is going to be the one that's kind of the experiment. Can physical media work? It was also a movie that was only shot for $7,000, and so when we made the film, it was just me, the cinematographer, 2 actors, I did sound, and then we had a behind-the-scenes person. And so Kenny Keeler was the cinematographer, Jay McCarrick and Charles Parks were the actors, and Caleb Phillips did our behind-the-scenes. So we're slowly putting all that together, all of the like the documentary, I guess you will, of how we made it. And so we filmed the whole process, and so you could see it. But it's an improvised movie, and it's yeah, I'm really happy with it, and so I'm excited it's finally going to get to be seen and all that kind of stuff. So a couple other things that are on the horizon. Ooh, okay, so Instagram, if you're following me over there, be a little bit of everything. You'll see some of my photography. I also run the Celluloid Collective with Kenny, and so we have another YouTube. So if you wanted to check that out, that's all about film photography and how you can make it, how you can kind of start your own film photography, how you can learn how to develop and scan and print and all that kind of stuff. So you can check that out. I'll put a link in the description. Okay, so this YouTube, what's going to happen? So this YouTube moving forward is just going to be all about how do you make a movie, the philosophical and the psychological effects of cinema, how it works on a deeper level, how we connect with it, how it makes us feel emotions, how it makes us feel things for other people, how it brings back memories, all of these things. Film to me is an art form that communicates with the world. It should be a visual storytelling method, and so that's what I'm hoping you'll get from it. Also, what I'm hoping you'll get from this YouTube is that you can make a film, and if you just make it with your friends and you make it with people that you really care about and things like that, you can bring your story to life. I was reading a story a couple days ago that said 99%, once again, I don't know if this is true, but even if it's 50 or 75 or 80, it's a weird, it's a lot. And so they said 99% of filmmakers only make one feature film. I've been fortunate enough to make 3, and that's probably because they're so hard to make and they're so difficult to get out there and they're so difficult to get seen. Getting them seen is almost more difficult than it is making them. So, and I think this YouTube is going to be all about shifting that narrative, taking a more educational approach. What can you do with these skills that may not even be for filmmaking? Maybe you want to make films and just have fun with it, and that's what I want to help you kind of create. And so over the course of the next year and hopefully further on, you'll see a lot of those videos of just how to create, how to make your film. BronsonCreative.us is going to be a hub for all of that information, and my goal is that you make your movie and then I help you get it on physical media. So I think your film should be able to be seen by people that are out there in the world. I don't think they should have to have the internet, and I think that physical media is more important than people think, especially with the way that streamers delete things, they change things, licensing deals. You're not really buying anything, you're really not owning anything, you're renting a licensing deal. And so if you want to learn more about that, you can go over to my Substack. I wrote a whole article about it. So, but with that being said, Happy New Year. Welcome to Bronson Creative, and I hope that this channel inspires you to make your film and your art and share it with the world. And when you do, I want to see it. So here's to a great year.